Inside Out Empty by Lyle Skanes. I often have a moment upon waking where the line between dreams and reality blurs. I dream I'm a fashion model, an idiot one who falls gracelessly from the catwalk, and when I wake it's to find my body half off the bed, nose deep in carpet. I thought this was yet another manifestation of my waking dreams. I woke up, and I looked down, and there it was. Tiny, really, about the size of an eraser head. A hole in the middle of my abdomen. It did not bleed the way a stab wound might. No red flesh tinged with the buttery yellow of fat peeked up at me. The hole was black, perfectly round, absorbing the morning sun to a complete absence of light. Fuzzy, curious, I ran a finger over it. It slurped at my fingertip like a tiny sink drain. Startled, I yanked my hand away. I rolled out of bed and dressed, covering up the strange wound. As I spread jam on toast, I had to pluck my blouse away from my belly to keep the garment from flowing into my innards. Once I had food in my system, I began to worry. I could no longer write my suctioning hole off as mere somnambulous folly. I pasted a Band-Aid over the black spot to save my clothing, and settled in front of the computer to see what sort of cancer I had developed overnight. As soon as I logged in, he pinged me. L.A. Law 1. Morning, beautiful. Dinner tonight? He must have been waiting for me. Sitting at his desk, his razor-thin monitor painting his manicured features a cool blue, tapping away as soon as my IM name appeared. I thought about going invisible, or ignoring him, but that would lead to a ringing phone. So I hammered out, "Can't talk. Have cancer." He didn't like that word. His mother died from cancer when he was just an overly neat kid. He didn't IM back, and in a few seconds his screen name grayed out. A sucking sound drew my attention back to my abdomen. My shirt stuck to the hole like a blanket edge caught in the vacuum hose. I lifted it. The Band-Aid was gone, the hole now the size of my palm. I went into the kitchen. Consuelo had been the day before, so it was clean except for my toast crumbs. The sink stopper rested next to the faucet, all shiny stainless steel and black rubber. Even my sink stopper squeaked with cleanliness when Consuelo was done. I swabbed the thing with alcohol, then snuggled it into my stomach like a cork in a bottle. Instead of returning to the laptop, I wandered to the sofa. I clicked on the TiVo, letting aspiring models and the Price is Right contestants keep me company as I contemplated my condition. I thumbed the metal stoppering my hole. I twisted it, feeling the torque pull my skin in spirals. I tugged at it, and it came free with a startled blurp. Almost the size of a coaster now, big enough that I should be able to see something. I grabbed a handful of mints from the dish Consuela always refreshed on the coffee table. I dropped one into my belly. Nothing happened. I dropped a few more. The candies went inside me, but nothing came out the other side. Maybe I could bypass the whole eating process altogether. Chewing and swallowing gets really boring, especially when it's not chocolate going down. After dumping the bowl in my stomach, however, I didn't feel full, and I wished I had kept a few aside to eat the regular way. I stuck my fingers in the hole, feeling around, as though my abdomen were a jar with one olive left in it. I yanked them out. What the hell was I thinking? I stared at my knuckles, glad all of them were still present, right up to my Malaysian mist nail polish. A hole. I had a hole in my stomach. I looked up at the television with its droning, fake smiling faces. A hole in my stomach into the depths of me, eating me, swallowing me up. Where were my horror movie screams? Why hadn't I called 911? I froze on the couch, the television trying to sell me on an art school. Do you enjoy drawing? Do you enjoy computers? Then this is the place for you. One hand over my disappearing torso and one hand reaching for my cell phone. I scrolled through all 337 names in my cell phone, but couldn't zero in on one to call. The cell phone companies call the contacts list your friends and family, your network, your favorites. They should really call them guys you screwed once and needed a picture to remember their face. And girls you tried to be friends with, but then turned out to be skanks or vacuous sacks. No one I could call. Maybe one. My hand trembled. I had all of her numbers, her address, her email address, even a Skype account she rarely signed on to. I found her mobile number, for extreme emergencies only, because she thought cell phones were the height of rudeness. She preferred the antique ivory rotary on her desk, that giant desk I'd once tried to hide under when I was 5. She'd immediately found me, and as punishment for invading her space had insisted I stay there, crouched in the knee space, for the rest of the day, past dinner, past my bedtime, until I wet myself and passed out. I put the phone down and returned to my computer.